Hey there and welcome. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time to my channel, thank you for subscribing. And also don't forget to click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. So today we're going to be making a hula hoop centerpiece. Basically, remove the sticker from your hula hoop and spray paint it the color of your choice. I'm using this krylon dusty rose color that I had of spray paint, and I also spray painted one of these boxes from Dollar Tree. It's like a shadow box picture. I just simply removed the round circle from it, cut in half one of the foam balls and glued it into the center of my box. Once I decided to where I wanted to place my foam and everything, I went ahead and cut a groove in that center of my foam. Once you finish cutting that groove, go ahead and add some E6000 into that, and then add some hot glue and into the foam and also on the corners or the edges of your box. Once you figure out where you're going to place your hula hoop and where it ends up landing, I guess you could say, on the box, go ahead and add your hot glue there. Hold it for a few seconds and allow it to dry before you let it go. Once it's completely dry, go ahead and get 2 to 3 of these Greenery stems that you can get at Dollar Tree, and also one of the cotton ball stems. And just go ahead and get some good pliers or scissors and individually cut off each one of the cotton balls and also each one of your Greenery stems. Depending on how thick and luscious you want your centerpiece to be, I would recommend 2 to 3. You'll see how it looks with 2. So if you want it more luscious or fuller, go ahead and get another 2 to 3, 2 more or 1 more of these Greenery stems. What I did was I hot glued each stem individually onto my hula hoop. And I just held it in place for a few seconds to allow it to dry before I went on to the next stem. And if you're not comfortable doing this, go ahead and hot glue your stems and then grab some jute twine or even some small zip ties if you want, and start wrapping it around each one of your stems. And you'll see I'll do that in a few seconds once I glue a few of them onto my hula hoop. So here I started wrapping that jute twine around, and then once you wrap it around just a few of them, you can either just leave it loose and continue to wrap it as you go, or you can just simply start cutting the jute twine and tying knots into each one of the stems. Basically, that's up to you how you want to do that. But what I did was just wrapped it around, and then I tightly wrapped it around, and then just let it kind of hang, and then just continue doing that same process until I was completely done. And as you can tell, I added a little bit of hot glue. And here, since I'm going to start another line of Greenery, I tied it into a knot, and then I'm going to start wrapping it around again at the bottom. But you can do this whichever way you feel comfortable. The point is just to make sure each one of the stems is nice and secure onto your hula hoop. And as you can tell, I inserted this Greenery into the jute twine that was already wrapped around. So just go ahead and continue adding your Greenery however you see fit. And go ahead, and what I did was add hot glue to each one of my leaves or each one of my stems, because I did cut some of the leaves apart from the stem and added them into whichever area I felt that it needed some more Greenery. So that's how it looks with one stem, and here I'm going to start doing my second bunch of stems that I have here. And you can go all the way around, or you can even go just like I am, halfway. If you don't want to do the individual stems, you can easily purchase a a vine, greenery vine, at say Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or even on Amazon. And if you, I'll leave a link for a greenery vine that I purchase sometimes on Amazon for you down below, if you want to do it that way, which would be a lot easier, just cost effective. It would be, depending on if you have coupon or what have you. This is the way I found it the most cost effective, so that's why I'm doing it this way. But of course, feel free to buy a greenery wreath or vine and then just wrap it around each one of your hula hoops. So here I am just tightening my jute twine. The thing about centerpieces, your hula hoop centerpieces, or any kind of DIY that you're making, basically you can do it as you like, as full or as less, or, you know, add whatever you like. That's just the whole point of doing your DIYs, not just for it to be cost effective. At least for me, I like to make them because I enjoy them, of course, but I also because I can customize them to my taste or to fit wherever I want it to be at. So here I am just adding some greenery, and like I said, I did cut some individual leaves depending on where I wanted to place them. So once you're happy with the greenery you placed all around your hula hoop, go ahead and get whatever extra greenery you have and add it to the bottom of your centerpiece. Now what I'm using are the leftover bag that I have of the wooden flowers. Like I said, I'll leave a link of where I ordered these down below. But if you don't have these wooden flowers and don't want to order them, feel free to go ahead and get some, maybe some white roses from Dollar Tree as well, or Walmart has some really pretty roses. Just try to get a variety of different sizes, or even different shades if you like, depending on what color you wanted to use. I wanted this centerpiece to be more of that neutral, natural, earthy type centerpiece, where it wasn't too busy with too many things, but it still looked nice and full. So basically what I'm doing is I'm thinking of adding my white roses like I am right here, but I'm adding them in little clusters or bunches, and trying to do about 3 to 4 in each one. So the way I started doing this was basically adding the one rose or main rose of flower that I wanted in each one of my bunches, and then I'm just going to start gluing smaller ones around that flower. And to me, I didn't mind seeing the hula hoop in between everything, but again, if you want it fuller and you don't want that hula hoop to show around your greenery, feel free to add more of your greenery around it. So here I am just adding more flowers, and again, like I said, I was trying or thinking of doing just bunches, like little clusters of my flowers, and I also added those cotton balls. Here I am adding one down below. And again, I did that to each one of my little bunches of flowers. I added one cotton ball into each one, and I saved one to add to the top as well. So just go ahead and start adding as many as you'd like of the flowers and your cotton balls, and wherever you choose to add them. I think this would be beautiful for, say, a garden wedding, even a bridal shower. You can even do a baby shower and put maybe the initials in the middle, or the words baby, you know, with little letters hanging down in each one of the centerpieces. I think that would be adorable. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you're going to use yours for. I don't know about you, but when I start making any kind of DIY or any kind of decor for my home or any event, I'm always thinking of what I can do extra or what I can do different to use the same idea for different events or different areas of my home, just so I can recycle, or just, you know, to remember for next time I can use it for that, you know, certain other event or what have you. So that's something I love doing. I don't know if you guys do that as well, or you just kind of focus on what you're doing. So this is the way it looks once you're completely done, and that's the way the back looked. Now what I'm going to do is add these two hanging, I don't know what they're called, they're hanging balls for Dollar Tree as well. They usually have them every year now. So you can use these, or you can even use like the Christmas ornament balls if you still have those. That would look adorable as well. So what I did was grab an extra long piece of jute twine, and I wrapped it around the top of my hula hoop and tied quite a few different knots as I twisted, and then cut the rest off and added a little bit of hot glue. Don't add too much hot glue because they are going to see it. So just add a little bit just to make sure that string stays in place. Then you can play with the length of your jute twine to see where you want the actual ball or dome to hang. Once you find that out, go ahead and wrap the jute twine through the hoop that's on the top of your ornament. And just wrap it around a few times to make sure it stays nice and secure. And then go ahead and run the jute twine up to the top again, wrap it around a few times, and then knot your jute twine together like so. And then just go ahead and add a little bit of glue and you remove the rest of the extra jute twine. So you do that to the second ball as well. And what I did was made one a little bit higher than the other, but you can hang them as you like. That's basically preference. So I did the same thing, wrapped the jute twine a few times and just kept knotting it at the top. Then run it through the top hoop of your ornament and then kind of figure out where you want it. And then once you figure it out, do the same thing, run your jute twine a few times through that hoop and then run it up to the hula hoop again and tie a knot. Don't worry about it twisting around the opening of your ornament, because once you're done, you can add glue to the top of your ornament where the hoop is at and it'll stay in place. So just go ahead and tie it a few times on top and then cut off any extra jute twine you have. Now you can leave it as is and it looks adorable, but I didn't want anyone to see that jute twine on the top where I knotted it. So what I did was grab a few extra leaves that I had, and I'm going to glue them onto the top of my hula hoop to cover up those knots that I put on top. And you'll see all I did was use 4 of the leaves in the front and then the same amount in the back. So since it's going to be a centerpiece, you would want it to look even, or at least look nice on both sides. So here I am just adding 4 leaves in the front, which I individually cut. And then once you've glued them on and you like where they're at, go ahead and cut off any of the little stems that are on the bottom. And now I'm going to start gluing some more of my flowers in the center to make a little cluster here as well, just so it can look cohesive as the side does. And as you can tell, I was playing around with what I was going to add into the center ornaments. So I have some flowers and cotton balls in there for now, which you can do it that way as well. So I had to turn it towards me so I could kind of see how it was looking. And I added a cotton ball on here as well. And if you don't want to add the greenery, you can put some a bow or what have you on top as well. I just didn't want any ribbons in this DIY. So here I am just adding another leaf You just play with it as you go until you're happy with the way it looks. Once you make one, you can, it's a lot faster to start making the rest of them, especially if you're going to make a few of them for, any special event that you're having. The first one's always, the trial and error one, the one you kind of make mistakes, but it's okay because that's how you figure out what you want and how much you need. So just go ahead and add some flowers to the back as well. So once I was done, what I decided to do was grab some of the green moss and just add a little bit into each one of my ornaments. I want to say I ended up adding about a handful into each one. And then I added one of the flowers. And then my battery operated tea lights. And here I am trying to make them stay still. But like I said, what I ended up doing was gluing my hoops at the top to my actual ornament, and they stayed perfectly in place after that. So that's a little trick that I figured out while I was doing these, because I wanted to make sure that they stayed in place. But again, if it's a centerpiece, you might want them to turn around. That way, they'll just kind of move around. And this is the way it looks all put together with the little lights on. And here's a close-up of the side. How simple but yet very elegant does this look? Now, since I'm not having a party anytime soon, but I love the way this wreath looked, I decided to go ahead and remove it from the stand, add some jute twine so I could hang it on in my kitchen. So this is the way it looks hanging in my kitchen. So what do you guys think? I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.